Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Dear Administrator, today's seniors. And today, once again, our favorite guest, Mr. Wade Botkin, who's a licensed mental health counselor and also founder of Touchstone Institute, who's really helped us a lot with our residents when it came to transitions and to the emotions that come along with any kind of change in their lives. Could you tell our viewers and our readers what are the most stressful changes that occur in people's lives?
Well, any change is stressful, and what a lot of people get confused about is that they often think of negative things as stressful, but even positive changes can be stressful. So, like on the stress scale, getting married, which is a happy event, has the same number of stress points as a loss of a parent. So both are major, major life changes. There's not a bigger change that you can have than that, and both carry the same number of stress points.
I had no idea. So even positive changes, if they're leaving their home and coming to an assisted living and being with their spouse and being taken care of, can have a serious effect on them.
Right. It's what people need to understand is the degree of change. That is what indicates the amount of stress. So the more things are changing, the bigger the changes, the more comprehensive the changes, then the more stressful. Right. So sometimes people are like, well, I inherited, $50,000. I'm stressed out. I don't understand why. Well, if that's a big change for a person in their life and in their finances, then it's going to be a big stress.
And how can we help alleviate some of these stresses in our seniors?
Well, when it comes, as we age, the mind is, slowing down. And so adapting to change, adapting yourself to change is a little bit more difficult. So you need to understand it's going to take more time to make those adjustments. You won't be necessarily as fast to do it. On the other hand, there are some personalities, as they mature, as they age. Not everybody matures as they age. Some people age and they don't mature. But if a person is maturing as they age, then they will develop more ability to accept changes, to roll with those punches, to work with change. So it kind of depends on the person and their personality and the level of maturity that's there. But if you have a person who is older, who doesn't have the maturity, to make that change, you're going to need more patience. You're going to need to have like a bigger picture view of how long it will take them to make those adjustments.
Now, I do know that a lot of seniors have been given through the years benzoids to calm them down, for agitation, for anxiety. And I know that there's a certain period of time that is helpful. I'm noticing, however, that there are quite a few that don't realize that they are actually addicted physically to that medication.
Right. It is a medication a person can get addicted to, and medication's of course not my specialty, but medication can help. There have been studies that show, like following a car accident, certain medications can reduce trauma. So, there are definitely times to give medication, but I think overall people look at medicine as that, as medication, not lifestyle,
right?
But as a, temporary aid in making an adjustment. Now, of course, there's some medications you do take for your life, and there are exceptions to that. But when you're talking about, benzoids and certain psychotropic medications, I think it's probably better to look at it as transitional.
While you start putting into place techniques and coping mechanisms and going through counseling and being able to go to meetings with other people, or starting to change your lifestyle for a positive way.
Right, exactly. Well, and a lot of people see commercials on television that they advertise. Drug companies are advertising that 2 out of 3 people on medication for depression are still suffering from depression.
Right.
Well, one reason that 2 out of 3, which that's a majority of people taking a medication that's no longer as effective as it once was is that they haven't combined therapy with medication.
Mm-hmm.
So medication addresses a symptom, but if you don't change the way you process your reality, if you don't change the way you look at your reality, if you don't begin to making changes, within yourself, then those old choices will continue to, reinforce the old results, which are depressive.
Right.
So, the body's always trying to return to homeostasis, always trying to get back to what it's comfortable with. And a comfort zone can, for some people, be very uncomfortable. So, you have a window of opportunity when you begin medication for depression, anxiety, in which you can really make a lot of changes and do a lot of things. But if you spend that whole time just with medication,
Mm-hmm.
you're likely to end up in that 2 out of 3 that so many years later are still depressed and taking medication.
Yeah, I've noticed also we had a resident who did come on medication, was extremely depressed, and now there's participation in different activities that she never had done before. More exercising, playing Scrabble, playing word games, and she's actually coming out of it and enjoying the newness of new things that initially she was absolutely not interested in, and now she's literally on no medication for that at all.
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost like that was keeping her from thriving versus trying new things. It sedated her to the point of not having the desire to
Mm-hmm.
do new things.
Right, and as humans, aside from basic survival needs, which are very important, of course, but after we meet our survival needs, food, shelter, warmth, things like that, the most important thing is love and belonging. In other words, we need people, we need each other, and so that's like the best medicine, because that's what people need to have. So interacting with other people, whether it's playing games, participating, being cared for, those interactions, that's at the essence of healing.
And touch is very important too.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you again, Mr. Botkin. Wade,
You're welcome.
we're still waiting for the book. When's it coming out?
It's coming out.
It's coming out. You heard it from him. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching today's Seniors, Dear Administrator, and Bayshore Guest Home and Gardens. Have a nice day.